1, 2,
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Boys Latin's Lake Show, a night on the lake. I'm your host, Jennifer Gilbert St. John, and I am thrilled to be with you virtually tonight. Like many of you, I love being a part of this wonderful community on Lake Avenue as the mom of a young Laker in BL's middle school.
We've got a great night ahead of us with fun cocktails, a special tour around the newly acquired Western Campus, entertaining trivia, and music from talented BL alumnus Chris Wilcox. Make sure you stick around for the end of the show as we will be presenting Dyson Ehrhardt as the first-time winner of the Jack H. Williams Award. And don't forget to check out our exciting silent auction and consider making a donation during the program. Here's your chance to plan that dream vacation that we couldn't take last year. We have luxury accommodations in the Caribbean and Cabo San Lucas, as well as golf getaways in Myrtle Beach and Florida. The auction will close at 8:30 p.m. tonight, so don't miss out.
Let's start the night off right with a cocktail. Here to help us make the perfect Brevard Street South Side is Ezra Allen from Kane Mixers. Ezra, take it away.
Thanks, Jennifer. Hi, my name is Ezra Allen, co-founder of Kane Collective, and we created mixers to bring you the experience of craft bartending directly to your home. Tonight we'll be showing you how to make 2 delicious boys Latin themed cocktails. Let's start off our first cocktail of the night with the Brevard Street South Side. We're gonna begin by taking your favorite glass of choice. I like a rocks glass. Put some ice in it. We're gonna grab one of our shakers, courtesy of Team Bacardi. And we're gonna begin by adding either an ounce or 1 part, maybe a part and a half of Bacardi Ocho. And we're gonna add 2 parts of your Kane Southside mix. Now a Southside is a really simple cocktail. It has its, while Long Island may be origins, it for sure has long-standing Baltimore roots. And it's lemon mint, and we had a little twist on it, add a touch of ginger. Get in there. Gonna add a little bit of ice to that. Gonna shake your cocktail up. Pop the top. Just pour on top. Grab a little mint if you have some. Give it a little tap, wake it up. Maybe a lemon wheel. That sounds good. Here's a fun fact. Boys Latin was located on Brevard Street in Bolton Hill from 1896 to 1960. That's near today's Meyerhoff Symphony Hall. Ladies and gentlemen, hope you sip and enjoy, and back to you, Jennifer. Cheers.
Thanks, Ezra, for that fun addition to the night. And now, let's hear from the leader of our school, Headmaster Chris Post.
Thanks so much, Jennifer, and welcome to all of you who are joining us tonight. Well, I can't wait to have you join me here for the Lake Show on Lake Avenue in person. I hope that coming together tonight virtually to celebrate our school, to learn about our expansion on the Western Campus, and most especially to celebrate one of Boys Latin's very best, is a reminder of the close-knit community that we're fortunate to have built over generations here on Lake Avenue. Thanks to the Alumni and Parents Association for presenting tonight's event, to our sponsors, Not Mechanical, Sinclair Broadcasting Group, M&T Bank, United Building Services, and the Mitchell-Wolf family for your outstanding support, to the many members of our community for your silent auction donations, and especially to our volunteers and our alumni development staff for your good work in imagining and developing tonight's event. As so many have said, it's been a year unlike any other. We've learned in tense and converted spaces like the gym and the wrestling room. Our faculty have taught classes both in person and virtually at the very same time. We've learned all sorts of new protocols and routines. But here's the thing, this year more than ever before, there's a palpable sense of the power of our community. Our boys have shown their resilience like never before. They've displayed a genuine joy for learning and especially a genuine joy in being together. And our faculty and staff, they've responded to the challenges with a fierce determination to ensure that every boy has the chance to learn in person every single day. I know the time will be right to welcome back all of our alumni, families, and friends in person, but until that day, please know how much I appreciate all that you do to support our boys and our school. So maybe you have one of those Brevard Street South Sides nearby like I do. We say it's always a great day and an even better night to be a Laker. Here's to you and to our beloved Boys Latin. So we'll have some fun with BL trivia throughout the evening. And here's our first question. Boys Latin's first bull roast on Lake Avenue was in the fall of 1960. In what year did the Alumni and Parents Associations first jointly produce the annual Bull and Oyster Roast? Stay tuned for the answer. Now back to Jennifer.
Thank you, Chris. Many of you are familiar with the duties of the Alumni and Parents Associations. Here to tell us some of the exciting activities of these two important groups are Brian Rudick, class of 1987, president of the Alumni Association and father of a current sophomore, along with Diana Hegman, president of the Parents Association and mother of a graduating senior.
Good evening, I'm Brian Rudick, president of the Boys Latin Alumni Association.
And I'm Diana Hegman, president of the Parents Association. We're so excited to be here with you tonight. Now, some of you may be asking, what exactly do our associations do for the schools?
That's a good question, Diana. The Alumni Association was founded in 1916 and currently consists of 35 alumni who give back both voluntarily and financially. Our mission is to promote the school's interests and goals by providing leadership, support, and resources to benefit the entire Boys Latin community.
Additionally, the Parents Association fosters a positive spirit within the school family, assists in its admission process, and efforts to provide educational facilities, opportunities, and assistance to its student organizations. Both of our associations raise funds for the school in order to support BL initiatives, such as the annual fund, capital campaigns, financial aid, sports, clubs, and activities. By the way, Brian, do you know the answer to Mr. Post's trivia question?
I sure do, Diana. The first time the Alumni Association and Parents Association joined forces for the Bull Roast was 2014, and we've collaborated ever since.
Now back to you, Jennifer.
Thank you, Brian and Diana. I hope you're all getting in on the action of our silent auction. We have fantastic sports-themed items, including tickets to Orioles and Ravens games, in addition to fun opportunities for lacrosse fans. We also want to support our local restaurants during these challenging times, so be sure to check out some of the gift card packages that we have up for bid. We want to thank all of our sponsors for helping us make this a fun event. And now we're going to hear from our lead sponsor, Not Mechanical.
The Alumni and Parents Association want to thank Not Mechanical for being one of our lead sponsors of tonight's program. Family owned and operated since 1971, Not Mechanical prides itself on bringing safety, integrity, passion, and accountability to the maintenance industry. The Knott family has been striving to make a difference in the maintenance field service business for 3 generations. Whether it's through their best-in-industry software or their mission to create healthy work environments for their team and customers, Knott Mechanical continually pushes to be the best. When you hear Knott Mechanical, think innovation.
As many of you already know, last year the school bought 28 acres from the Josephites order.
This magnificent property is contiguous with the south side of our Lake Avenue campus.
The property's main building has been modernized and converted into a state-of-the-art dormitory space capable of housing up to 40 students. The school couldn't be more excited to expand its reach and provide boys who hail from across the country and around the world with the opportunities a boys' Latin education has to offer. It is so remarkable knowing that our little school on Lake Avenue can now offer acceptance to boys from anywhere in the world. Last year, Michael Williams joined the BL staff as the Director of Boarding. His job is to create and implement an innovative dorm culture here on Lake Avenue.
This is Michael.
Michael comes to BL with extensive school and boarding experience, having taught history, coached lacrosse, and served as a dorm parent at several schools.
Welcome to the Boys Latin boarding community. My name is Michael Williams, and I'm fortunate enough to be the Director of Boarding here. Back in 2020, we purchased this land, and recently we finished renovating it. At full capacity, we'll have 40 boarding students in 20 rooms. So come on in. I'm excited to give you a tour. We're now inside one of our brand new 350 square foot dorm rooms. Large windows offer gorgeous views that are unlike any other in the area. Each room will have 2 boarders and is equipped with its own closet and full bathroom. If I think back to my college dorm experience, our rooms are nothing near this nice. Needless to say, our boarders will be living comfortably during their time at BL. Welcome to one of the 3 newly built faculty apartments inside the dormitory. In addition to the 3 apartments, there's a newly renovated cottage just adjacent to the dormitory. In all, 4 faculty members will be helping with the weekend and weekday programming for the boarding community. I'd like to introduce you to my family, my wife Emily, my sons Mac and Bo. I want to let you know we're honored to be the first residents of the boarding community. Personally, I'm excited for my boys to look up to the boarding students as role models. And coming from a family who has lived in the dorms for the past 10 years, these apartments and this dormitory are really nice. And here's our next trivia question. 1931 was the last year of baseball on Brevard Street. Headmaster Shipley is said to have favored lacrosse because money was tight during the Depression, and lacrosse balls had a longer life than did baseballs. So in what year did the BL baseball program return to action here on Lake Avenue? Here in the dining hall, the entire community will gather to eat. We as a community understand the importance of food. It brings people together, it makes any day better, and quite honestly, we're dealing with teenage boys, so we need enough food for them to grow. With space for up to 60 people, we intend to have the entire community, students and faculty, attend sit-down family-style meals. Like one would do with their family at home, the goal is for the students to have a friendly conversation of their day over a nice plate of food. With the indoor-outdoor dining feature, we plan to use the space for special events throughout the year. This space, known as the common room, is the hangout area. It's really the living room of the dorm. When fully furnished, imagine a sectional couch, tables, chairs, maybe even a ping pong table. On the back wall will be a flat screen TV for the boys to watch the big game, channel surf on a lazy weekend, and just be together to build camaraderie. This space is versatile though, as we intend to use it for our weekly meetings as a dorm. In these meetings, we will build on the character development that the students experience during the school day. We will have conversations, address issues, and educate ourselves on current events. And we will do all of this as one group. Now for my favorite part of the property, the outdoor space. A one-of-a-kind courtyard, sprawling green space, and $1 million view headline the grounds. I can picture kids playing long games out here by the day and relaxing by the fire pit at night. And much like other boarding schools, this place offers rural living where students can unwind. However, unlike most boarding schools, we're close by to food, entertainment, culture, and leisure. I cannot stress how fortunate we are to have such a stark contrast of environments right here at BL. We intend to use all of the surrounding area has to offer as we supply robust and fun weekend programming for the boys. Now the answer to our trivia question. Baseball returned to boys Latin 33 years later in the spring of 1974. Thanks for joining me for the tour. I hope to see the entire Laker community here soon. Be well and take care.
The Alumni and Parents Association want to thank M&T Bank for being a generous sponsor of the Lake Show, a night on the lake.
And now we're going to check back with Ezra for our second cocktail of the evening, the Lake Avenue cocktail.
Welcome to our second cocktail of the night, the Lake Avenue. Before we make our next drink, I have the final trivia question of the night. Boys Latin had an elite singing group from the years 1963 to 1970 with quite a unique name. What's the name of the singing group? Think about the answer while we concoct the Lake Avenue. So for our next cocktail, we're gonna take our rocks glass with ice, and it's the same kind of format. We're gonna do 2 parts of the cane mixer with 1 part spirit. I chose Tito's for this one. And we're gonna add our cane guava tiki mix. Now, guava tiki is just basically a refreshing tropical kind of drink. We're gonna add 2 ounces of that. It has notes of guava and grapefruit, a little bit of spiced pineapple in there. I'm gonna add 1 ounce of Tito's handcrafted vodka, maybe 1.5 ounces. We put this in our mini shaker. I'm gonna add a little bit of ice. Gonna shake things up a bit. Pop the top, of course. Give it a nice pour. I'm gonna add a little lime wheel for some color and a garnish, maybe 2. All right, now before I go, I have the answer to our last trivia question of the night. The elite singing group at Boys Latin from 1963 to 1970 was called the Ipso Factos. Hope you guessed correctly. All right, now let's take a sip. I think that's delicious. I hope you do too. Back to you, Jennifer.
Thanks, Ezra. There are many Boys Latin themed auction items up for grabs tonight,
including a custom-designed BL cornhole set, and even a chance for your little one to be the head of the lower school for the day. You can also purchase tickets for our 50-50 and Basket of Cheer raffles. Winners will be selected randomly after the auction.
And now, for the main event. Jack Williams, class of 1938, and BL's 7th headmaster, saved Boys Latin from extinction in 1960.
Those who attended BL during Mr. Williams' tenure as headmaster from 1962 until 1978 know that this great school would not exist had it not been for Mr. Williams finding and securing the finances to buy and relocate the school to our location here on Lake Avenue.
The school decided this year to begin awarding annually the Jack H. Williams Award. It will be given to a member of the Boys Latin community who exhibits selfless dedication, exemplifies compassion towards others, and embodies an exceptional personal commitment to the well-being of the school.
This individual exhibits the same qualities as Jack Williams, who contributed substantially to the school, improving the lives of BL students and the Boys Latin community,
while living the school's motto, esse quam videre, to be rather than to seem. This year, the award is bestowed upon the glue of Boys Latin, the man who holds it all together, Dyson P. Ehrhardt. Please welcome Matt Kennedy, Director of Alumni Relations, to present the award.
Thanks, Jennifer. It gives me great pleasure to award the inaugural Jack H. Williams Award to a man who needs no introduction, to a man we all know as Dyson, Mr. BL. There's no doubt Boys Latin School is a better place because of Dyson Ehrhardt. He entered BL in 1952 as a 5th grader, and he's been involved with the school ever since. In 1962, he returned to BL as a coach and teacher. He worked as the assistant lacrosse coach under Mace LeBrun and helped guide the Lakers to their first 2 lacrosse championships here on Lake Avenue in 1964 and in 1966. In 1968, Dyson left Boys Latin and was then named president of the Boys Latin Alumni Association. In 1970, he returned to Lakerland, and during the past 50 years, he has served in many capacities, including Director of Alumni Affairs, Director of Admissions, Director of Financial Aid, and he's presently the Associate Headmaster for Development. He was the head coach of the varsity lacrosse teams in 1973 and 74, leading the Lakers to the championship game in 1974. In so many ways, Dyson and Boys Latin are one and the same. It's hard to think of one without the other, and perhaps that is why many have come to consider him affectionately as Mr. Boys Latin. There isn't anything he wouldn't do for the school and for the BL family, and his compassion for and mentoring of countless Lakers for countless years have endeared him to all of his fellow alumni. And to top everything off, Maryland Governor Larry Hogan issued a proclamation congratulating Dyson for his 60 years of service and winning this prestigious award.
I'd like to extend my sincere congratulations to Dyson Ehrhardt for your 60 years of service to the Boys Latin School of Maryland. Since 1962, you've been a teacher, coach, administrator, mentor, and friend to thousands of Laker students. Congratulations on your incredible career.
Congratulations, Dyson, on your 60 years at the Boys Latin School. Although I have been labeled baseball's Iron Man for playing in 2,632 consecutive games, it pales in comparison to the 6 decades you have been on the job on Lake Avenue. You are BL's Iron Man. From one Iron Man to another, I tip my cap to you and thank you for all your years of service to others.
It gives me and the Alumni Development Office great pleasure in announcing that Dyson Ehrhardt is the recipient of the first Jack H. Williams Award. I am joined by Headmaster Chris Post and former Board of Trustee President Duncan Smith to present Dyson with this award. Gentlemen.
Dunk.
Thanks.
Thank you, Amin. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. To receive this award and to be up here with Duncan and Chris and to have my name mentioned in the same breath with Jack Williams is very humbling and a great award, and I certainly do appreciate it. Thank you all very much.
And I just realized that you've probably been to every graduation since you started at Boys Latin in 1952.
1952, my brother graduated, so I attended that one. And I was in the 5th grade, so I haven't missed any since then. I think I'm not sure whether I made it in 1960 out here or not, but I may have missed one.
Okay. Well,
but all the other ones have made it. I'm still waiting to get my own diploma.
that'll
be a while.
We're still working on that. You know, we talk about the Mount Rushmore of Boys Latin. I think it's arguable who is the 3rd or 4th head on that, but certainly you and Jack Williams are the first 2 heads. And what was it like working for Mr. Williams?
Jack really cared about the individual boy. You know, Jack was not an educator. He was a lawyer by trade, and he just, there was a real caring and concern for the individual boy. I went to him one day and I said, this kid's driving me crazy. I'm teaching 5th grade, and the kid's driving you crazy. So I said, this kid's driving me crazy. I can't get anywhere with him. And he said, have you ever heard him play the piano? I said, no, I haven't. I have a hard enough time teaching the kid in school, let alone playing the piano. He said, why don't you start there? I said, Jack, what are you talking about? He said, I'm talking about deal with his strengths. Work with his strengths, and the weaknesses will come along. So the next time I went out, I gave a test to a kid, and the kid got 2 right, and I sat down. I said, that's really great. You really got these 2 right. Now let's talk about the 36 you got wrong. You know? But no, and that's a great point. Pick out the strength with the individual boys and work on it. And Jack just did that. And we had, we took in some boys that maybe we had to really gamble. I think Jack's philosophy was when you take nothing but the cream of the crop, you leave yourself very little margin for failure. It's when you take that boy you've got to work with that you can hang your shingle out on your faculty and staff. And that's something every once in a while I'd like to tell some of our faculty today.
Sure.
You know, it's about the boy. It's not our school. We're here for the kids.
Right.
And don't ever lose track of that. And Jack never did. He never had trouble with the faculty, never had trouble with the students.
He sure did not. You know, he's my headmaster as well. And, you know, you've probably had, every day you've been here, you've probably had a good day, except probably that one day, February of '78. It's probably the worst day of your BL life.
That was a toughie. There's a picture that I have over there that I found the next morning. I was taking off at lunch to go down to Johns Hopkins to have a meeting with a gentleman by the name of Bob McGill, who was on our board, and Bob Carter. And I'm walking out the front, and Jack said, where are you going? I said, I'm going down to Hopkins. We're going to go over capital campaign strategy with these 2 guys. He said, well, I'll see you tomorrow. I said, no, Jack, I'll be back. He said, you'll go down there, you'll have lunch, afterwards you go have a cocktail or 2, and then I'll see you tomorrow. I said, Jack, I'll be back. We did exactly that. We worked real hard, and then we partied real hard. And I went home and went to bed early, and the phone rang, and it was Jack's daughter, Robin, and she said, Dyson, Jack had a heart attack. I said, oh, man. And she said, will you make the necessary calls? Call Lloyd Temple, who was assistant headmaster at the time, and May Wurtzer, who was his secretary. And I said, yeah, I'll do that. And I was in making these calls. And about, I really don't know, 10, 15, 20 minutes, the phone rang again. It was Bill Patterson from Redeemer. And he said, Dyson, Jack died. And I'll tell you, it just hit you. You know, it felt like we were so close. We were friends. Right. And it was snowing like crazy. It was a lousy thing. And so I stayed at home and lingered around for a while. Finally got up and came on into school. And I walked in, and in my office, there was a note from Jack. He said, glad your meeting was only going to last 2 hours. Call your wife, call Bob Carter. We had an assembly with the kids, and Lloyd Temple was really strong. He wasn't everyone's favorite at the time, but he was really strong. He got up and he said something to the boys. He said, Jack, you light up my life. And that was the name of a song at the time. Sure. And it really got, and we closed school. Yeah. The next day, I don't know what happened, it snowed and all this, but the day of the funeral was just unbelievable. Right. It was packed and jammed with people, and you couldn't get out of the church. The snow was so much, the hour and a half that we were in there, that it was tough getting back. We came back to school, tried to work on a flyer to get out to all the alums about Jack, and that we wanted to start a scholarship in his name and all that. But that was a long day. Yeah. A long day getting that message on my desk.
I think Mr. Williams' impact on all of us really came into focus after he passed away. Yeah. He was just the greatest man. Yeah. I'll end it with probably your better half, who's been with you through thick and thin, Caroline, who's had to come to every bull roast and every athletic event. And
she is an honorary alum.
She is, 2014, our first female honorary alum.
You presented her with that. I'll tell you a couple quickies. I hope I can remember both of them. You might have to help me. I was thinking about leaving in '74, starting my own business with Jack Kearns, National Graphic Arts, and it was a tough decision to make. But I had come to that conclusion. I am leaving, and I told Jack about it, and he said, okay. And I said, let's just keep it quiet. Let's just get June will come around, and I'll just sort of disappear, and we'll go. And Jack agreed. Somehow Joe Ehrhardt, who was chairman of the board, found out about it, and he calls me in the office and he says, Dyson, what are you doing now? I said, oh God. I said, I'm working on this capital campaign stuff. He said, I want you to drop everything, come out to my house right away. So I drive out to his house and I pull up, and there he is sitting in a chair with a table, a phone on it, and no other chair. So I'm not staying long. I'm only there for a while. And he's feeding his birds, and I get out and I walk over and he says, call your wife and tell her you're staying. Said, don't do that. Don't do that to me now. We've made a decision. It's been late. It's been hard enough. I don't need that. And he said, call Caroline and tell her you're staying. So I didn't, and a lot of things happened that night and the next night and stuff like that. And I eventually stayed, but Caroline made a saying, I was gonna make more money, and to stay here at Boys Land and make a lot less. She said, Dyson, wherever you're happy, we'll be happy. That was a biggie. Not many wives would do that, and I'll never forget that.
We're so glad that Caroline was patient with you, coming to all the games. She was great. Again, congratulations on the award, Dyson. It couldn't go to a better person.
It means a great deal. And as I said this morning, to have your name mentioned in the same breath with Jack is pretty special.
Thank you, Dyson, and congratulations. There's just about an hour left to place your bid for that silent auction item that you've had your eye on all night, and try your luck at winning our 50/50 and Basket of Cheer raffles. Buy your tickets and place your bids. The auction closes at 8:30 p.m. On behalf of everyone here on Lake Avenue, thank you for joining us tonight for the Lake Show. And thank you for your continuous support of Boys Latin with purchases you made this evening, as well as your generous donations. Tonight, everyone is a winner. Let's hope we can all be together in person somewhere on campus in the not too distant future. We hope you enjoyed the music from the Boys Latin Upper School Jazz musicians at the beginning of tonight's program. In closing, we've got a special performance all the way from Nashville, Tennessee, talented singer-songwriter and BL graduate, Chris Wilcox. Good night, everyone. Take it away, Chris.
What's up, Laker Nation? Chris Wilcox here, class of 2010. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks to our wonderful host, Jennifer. I'm going to close this out with an original song called Old Shore Troubadour. From Baltimore to Philly, New York and back, I know I'm on the right road, but am I on the right track? Oh, and if I get to where I'm going, will anyone know my name? Does life just carry on and on the same? Spend some time traveling, a lot of time alone. I miss my family as I skip zip codes from South Carolina and back from Tennessee. The deepest green these eyes have ever seen. The Smoky Mountain trees, you can watch them breathe. I'm all by myself in the city. I'm all dressed up, but I got nowhere to be. I'll drift around like some old shore troubadour. It's another lonely night in Baltimore. The scene's breathtaking, pure beauty. My mind's racing, I can't stop thinking. Oh, and if in 1,000 years from now, when nobody knows my name, will I have left behind anything? I'm all by myself in the city. I'm all dressed up, but I got nowhere to be. I'll drift around like some old shore troubadour. It's another lonely night in Baltimore. Myself in the city, I'm all dressed up, maybe I got nowhere to be. I'll drift around like some old shore troubadour. It's another lonely night in Baltimore. Ooh, it's another lonely